It's a little slower than I was hoping. All right. Well, that was less than I hoped for. Maybe
my favorite part is that I knew exactly what it was right away, and Vinny still has no idea what that just happened.
That is the sad version of "I'm a Real American" by Rick Derringer, who we've lost this year. Oh, the theme song for Hulk Hogan, who we also lost this year, and we will get into later. But hey, welcome to another episode of the Divinely Uninspired Podcast from Journey Church, and I'm here with Penny, who is clueless.
Yep.
And Jeremy, who's full of clues.
I'm full of them.
And other things. All right. So, what do we want to do first? Wait, you know what? How about this? We're going to start out with Icebreaker before we get into the snacks. So,
all right.
I'm trying to figure out which one I wanted to do. I came up with a lot. Penny, have you ever had a nickname?
Yeah.
Is it something you can say on air?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Well, if you're not sure, you could say it.
I mean, growing up, I got my name, obviously, Penny. They called me nickel a lot, or dime, or quarter.
Oh.
Yeah, so it wasn't a nice nickname. And most of my family calls me Pen.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody ever in my family calls me Penny.
They never went $50.
You're done, Dylan.
Did they?
He's not on my good side this morning.
I mean, who is? You missed a lot of berating. We've been getting yelled at for the last 30 minutes while I set this up and rushed. So if anything sounds rushed, it was. Jeremy, did you ever have a nickname that we could say on the air?
Yeah.
What? Would you like to share?
I had two of them. I had Jerem the Worm.
I like that.
And Gillis.
Oh, I've heard Gillis. Jerem the Worm, though.
Yeah.
I like that.
That sounds...
Penn, Jerem the Worm, and just plain old Paul down here. I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't have one. So.
Okay.
This was great.
That was the icebreaker, but you didn't have one.
Well, listen. Okay.
Let's give Paul a nickname. Let's come up with one.
I was going to say something terrible, but
P. Diddy.
Well, you know what? It's available, but I don't know if I want the legacy of it. Thank you. Let's see. How about look down? What is the best TV theme song, Jeremy?
The Office.
Oh.
Oh, Cheers. Cheers.
Whatever happened to predictability?
Oh, that's a good one too. Full House.
Office or Cheers?
I'll say Full House, best of the 90s. Cheers, best of the 80s. Maybe best overall. Cheers is pretty good.
Yeah, Cheers was the best.
I mean, MASH is pretty good.
Well, and what was Wonder Years was good. They had a good theme song. It was that
Beatles song that got covered by Joe Cocker.
Yep.
Well, Boba Fett also had a really good
Oh
intro.
my gosh, Jeez Manitney.
Jeez Manitney. That's my new nickname down here. Just call me Jeez Manitney. What?
Game of Thrones, also a very good intro.
What on earth are you? So, all right, well, we'll sing it. Sing Game of Thrones for us.
Dun, 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 dun,
Game
dun,
of Thrones.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's a Game of Thrones. Well, you can't.
Like, The Office wasn't a good theme song. It was just, when you heard it, you knew exactly what it was. That's why I think it was good. It's memorable.
Well,
but no, I think Cheers is definitely the best.
All right. Well, let's get into this real quick. This was not on the list of things to talk about. Have you seen the trailer for The Paper?
Mm-mm.
The new Office show?
The spinoff? No.
I have not.
Boy, well, catch it while you can, because if that gets more than 3 episodes, if it's as good as that trailer is, I'll be surprised. It's rough.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
Is it American?
Yeah.
Or British?
Oscar's in it.
Oh.
And the redheaded guy that was in the Star Wars movies, and he was in
Harry Potter. I did see.
He was the bad guy from Peter Rabbit.
You know what they should do? I was thinking about this a lot. So they should do a spinoff that the only part of the spinoff is just they just follow Creed and Kevin around. Like that's just it. Like they just fight. Like you see what really is going on with Creed, and I think Kevin would be a good spinoff. But just you don't even need the other characters, just those two.
Well, they go through all and if you see the video, I'm doing quotes, jokes, and it just not a chuckle or a chortle. It's pretty rough. And then they get to Oscar, and he's like, "Not again! I don't sign off on this," because he has apparently moved to a different town where there's this paper he works for, and a different company is coming to video, and he's furious. So
yeah,
it did not leave me wanting more at all. So. All right. Well, hey, did y'all look over what we're going to do today list that I sent out actually for the first time? No, you both didn't. You both are awful people.
What?
So
last week I sent an email.
I just discovered mine literally yesterday in our junk email box, and that's actually a true story.
So from my work email, it goes to your junk box. So that's exciting.
No, it really was in my junk email box for some reason.
Well, hey, then you know what? Put your phones down. I don't care. It's too late now. It doesn't matter. You can't research it. You're on your phones. Turn them off. All right. We're going to start off with the taste test. Now, who brought these cookies to us?
Keith.
Hernandez. Keith
Weedmar.
Weedmar. All right. So we have done the Post Malone Oreos. We've done the McRib
which was amazing.
That was, you might as well just count
The
me
Post
out for
Malone
eating that
was maybe
again.
the best thing ever, and it was.
They were really good.
On the opposite side of the spectrum, the McRib, which was still.
It was so good.
I could still taste it, not in a good way.
You still chew on it for a little bit.
Yeah, so
You just got to put it down your side of your jaw and
it was
take
the only
the tongue
thing.
and bring it back up every once in a while.
The only thing that survived the flood here was the leftover McRib.
It's that grit.
Yeah. So we were kind enough to be gifted with
Nauseous.
the Selena Gomez Oreos. Penny, would you do me a favor and hand that bag to me?
Yeah.
What is the Post-it note on there?
It says Divinely Uninspired because
okay.
they didn't want any of the
Keith
security
is the
people
best.
getting
He
into
is, he listens every time.
Oh,
so
nice. Keith Weedmore. Big Keith.
big shout
Is there a
out.
picture on there? Because wasn't Post Malone's picture on the cookies?
Selena Gomez, no.
No, on the packaging it said Post Malone picture. How come Selena didn't get a picture?
Well, you have to take it up with Oreo.
And
Yeah.
why are celebrities getting Oreos?
Why did the
Why
Post
wouldn't
Malone
they?
ones not come back? All right, so
Okay.
these are Selena's chocolate and cinnamon cream cookies, and I was looking forward to them, but now that does not sound delicious at all. We also, Jeremy has brought in a treat, and boy, I'm sorry for the crinkling, but we are getting a good crinkle in the mic from these cookies. Now,
Yeah.
Pop it open.
it's okay. They smell amazing, and I'm sorry I was besmirching the good name of these. These things smell so good.
I might need to change my chair. My feet don't touch the ground very
You can hit
well.
the button.
You can hit the
underneath
button
it.
and lower it.
It's Jetsons times. We can.
Hold on. There we go.
Well, this is.
You didn't even do anything.
I
All right, I will pass these
sat up a
down,
little straighter.
and we will all take a bite together if we want to do it that way. Now, Selena Gomez, she was a Disney person. Is that right now? She's a singer. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
What is going on here?
I'm going to throw a cookie at
All
your
right.
face.
Now, one side of these have a. It looks like
I'm doing
headphones. It
two.
could be a bicycle. The other side say Oreo.
Well, mine's a heart.
Oh, they're all different. That's
Oh, they are
nice.
different.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take a bite if anybody wants to.
In the mic.
I'm gonna do the cream first.
Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what? I apologize, Selena Gomez. These are amazing.
Yeah. The
Holy
cinnamon's a little strange.
It tastes like a churro.
Oh, it does. That's what it does.
And
Yeah.
you put the chocolate
I
sauce on
mean,
them.
it's really good.
Very clever, Jeremy.
We decided you were gone. Jeremy's one of the smartest people that have
Yeah.
ever lived. You should hear the crew that he got lumped in with.
It tastes like a churro.
All right. Well, that was delicious. Oh my gosh! I just.
Jeez.
All right.
That was
Jingle
fun.
bells going. We got all kinds of things happening. All right. Well, man, that's real.
That's all. I'm thirsty now.
Penny is apparently on the
Good
keto
news.
diet over here. She's got one bite, and Jeremy's got a snack for us too.
If you're thirsty, I got something for you. This is the Straw Melon L8.
Now, if you follow Penny on Instagram, you know she's thirsty. But we're gonna pass this. That's right.
Took me. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Nico.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this looks.
This looks like
So what? And this is strawberry or watermelon.
Strawberry and watermelon together.
Now, this is a color nature doesn't create, so I'm a little nervous of what has made this mix, but it
That's
smells
delicious.
like. Do you know the little purse candies that old women have that look like little strawberries?
yeah.
That's what this
I'm
smells
gonna
like.
dip my
really good,
I'm gonna
though.
dip my cookie in it.
that's y'all.
Oh, that's not for me.
Somebody
Oh,
come
look
get
at this.
him.
Here's the thing. I don't like, and we had this discussion last night at dinner. I don't like strawberries or watermelon, IRL. So this is not for me.
Dip your cookie in it. It works. Take a cookie.
Jeremy's pregnant.
Take
down
a
there.
cookie. And no, I'm serious. Take a cookie and dip it in the L8 and then eat
Why
it.
don't you pass those Oreos back down here?
It works.
I'm just gonna eat an Oreo. Every
Keith.
time.
We have to give it a grade for Keith.
I'm gonna give
'cause
this an A. I would say if the Post Malones were A pluses, this is an A. It's an A. It's strong.
Yeah.
It's
It's an A.
It's
It's a
an
strong
A.
A. Goodness.
It's not as good as the Post Malone, but it is good.
You better be telling the truth.
I
That is
am.
literally
That
just
actually
dipped
works.
this in
I'm
the drink.
serious. Like the cinnamon works with the strawberry.
Now explain this cinnamon watermelon thing that you all were doing at my house.
Apparently, it's a viral thing where you take cinnamon and you put it on watermelon, and it actually tastes pretty good. It's very, very refreshing, surprisingly. Doesn't that work? Just
you
like
feel
out of
refreshed?
somehow. Mm-hmm. It does work. I don't know how, but it works. You know what I was looking forward to is the pawpaw version of L8.
Well, hey, listen, teaser for next episode, our all Kentucky episode. All right, well, here. You just keep washing that down and we'll get into today's topic. So we have not been here in 3 weeks, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. We, as 80s babies, have lost quite a bit since we've been gone. Starting off with Theo Huxtable, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and he passed away tragically, drowning on a family vacation. And Jeremy, I remember, as the head of the Cosby fan club, would probably hit him real hard down there.
I did.
As
long as it's not Rudy.
Yeah, oh, well.
What was the Cosby theme song? Like,
I don't actually remember.
Well, there were several.
Well, oh, okay. I was just curious. Like, that's one of them I cannot think.
Well,
yeah, I don't remember it.
It was one they were out in the field playing football with like the slow motion, like the.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then later they were dancing and. Mm-hmm. And there was one that the guy that did "Don't Worry, Be Happy." Turns out I'm actually the aficionado of the Cosby Show here, but that one really hit me the hardest. And people, if you can see me, I'm wearing my wrestling shirt today because we also lost Hulk Hogan. Jeremy has broken his microphone. We are on fire.
It's good. We're going to keep going.
Okay. And people were like, "Oh, Hulk Hogan, huh?" And I said, well, Theo really hit me harder, the loss of him, because that, I feel like...
Theo Huxtable.
Not Hulkstable, but yes.
Huxtable. Oh, Huxtable. There we go.
Huxtable. All right. Yeah, that's a mix. So, then we also lost Hulk Hogan and...
Ozzy.
Well, let me ask you all about this. We got two parts here. Did you all ever... Was Hulk Hogan like a big part of your childhood?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Even Penny's rolling her eyes. I didn't know as a girl. I assumed Jeremy as a boy. He was... Because he was wrestling.
Yeah.
He was... he had his own cartoon. He had his own cereal. All the toys. He had those terrible movies that he made.
I knew who he was. I just did not know... Like, I didn't watch wrestling.
Yeah, but as a child, like, if E.T. died, you'd be like, oh, E.T.
Yeah.
Sad, because it was just such a thing. All right, I didn't.
Right. Yeah, no,
I how deep in that.
I liked his reality show with his family when it came out. That was fun.
That was the worst thing Hulk Hogan ever did.
Well, that's not true at all, as we found out after.
Yeah.
So I don't really watch too much wrestling anymore, but I listen to a lot of podcasts about it, and it was a very hard week for people to try to express what was going on, because he was a very complicated person. And it turned out he was probably the closest to a real American we had, where he was one person out in public and another person behind closed doors that really not the best. So people missed him. They were sad that their childhood was gone, but he was a pretty bad guy. So
well,
I didn't know how much into that you all knew.
R.I.P. I don't know what to say. Like, what are we talking about?
But then on the other hand, and we actually previously in an episode here talked about, we had celebrity baptisms and things. And when he got baptized in the last year and a half, and we talked about that. And then he didn't really go on to do anything big in the Christian world, let's say, after that. And he still never really, to a lot of people, atoned for the things that he did behind closed doors. And you can Google those. Those are all pretty rough, some of the things that were said and done by him. But we also lost Ozzy Osbourne this week, or since we've been here, who had the nickname the Prince of Darkness, and he was a member of Black Sabbath and his own heavy metal. But then when he died, it turned out people started coming out of the woodworks and talking about how much of a Christian he was. So did y'all see any of those things?
I did.
And Penny says no, she was too busy watching what?
I mean, I didn't look too much into it, just because, I mean, why does it matter?
Why does it matter? All right, well, I can't wait to give the eulogy at Penny's funeral.
I think the point Paul's trying to make is that Hulk Hogan came across as this wholesome person, but then secretly was not really the greatest person. Ozzy Osbourne, because of his musicianhood.
There you go, musicianhood. Yeah, that's what he wore on stage, is musicianhood.
Black Sabbath is they were known for used to bite the heads off birds and stuff like that. But then later in life, a bat, not a bird. But then later in life, he was deeply religious. I actually had a friend that went and saw him one time and said that what was crazy about him is he had all those issues speaking, but then when he went to sing, it was clear as day. Mm-hmm. And he said at the end of every song, he would say, "God bless you."
Yeah.
And so that was he would sing these songs, and then at the end he would say, "God bless you." And the "God bless you" they said was as clear as his singing. But but apparently he was deeply religious. And I think that's just the dichotomy of, you had one thought about him and,
I never...
Penny's upset about the use of the word dichotomy.
What is happening right now?
Well, actually, I mean, that's a good point. My point was, or my question was going to be for you all, all right, so if he was a Christian and Hogan claimed he was, what is the value of that if nobody knows? Or I think it's a hard way to ask it. So if Ozzy Osbourne considered himself a follower of Christ, but no one really knew it, is that just as bad as not being one? If you play this other character, you're like, well, I believe in God, but I'm going to use all of my platform or whatever to do this other thing, where Hogan never acted. I mean, again, the things that he's done are awful and never really apologize for any of it, but then would go out and say, oh yeah, I believe I'm brother and all that. But what is the value of it if it's kept to yourself? Like if you hide it under a bush, as the song would say, as when we were kids.
Yeah, but isn't it better? I mean, Hulk Hogan, I would rather have someone like Ozzy than someone like Hulk Hogan if he is there is a representation of a Christian.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he was always.
But I also
think
I think the thing they carry in common is they were both characters. Mm-hmm. Like it was entertainment value. Like Black Sabbath and what Ozzy did, I mean, clearly was for entertain. And I'm not justifying like some of the crazy stuff he did, but like it was entertainment. Like he's an entertainer,
right.
And so like you don't expect like them to really. It's like what's like Alice Cooper. Like you know how like he's got all.
He's a big Christian.
Yeah, he's a big Christian, but also like really well educated. Like they say, like super smart guy. But like if you just watched, like his music, but that's just an entertainment thing. And I think that's where people get confused is, especially in entertainment, like they're playing a character. That's not necessarily who they are. And, I think that's just the nature of entertainment. Like you're not always going to be, you're just playing a character sometimes. So.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that, but like, so the opposite would be like Tom Cruise, where he is a devout Scientologist, and in his movies, he's never that person. He's always somebody different, but then who he is. You know who Tom Cruise the person is, but you don't know. It's different from Tom Cruise the actor, like the roles he plays. Mm-hmm. So like Terry Bollea is Hulk Hogan's real name, but at some point, I think they became the same person because it seemed like he was always performing. But that's the same. Is Ozzy Osbourne, was that his real name? It seems like quite a name to be born with.
So
I don't know.
I mean, you looked at a baby and said his name is Ozzy. That seems like a.
Oh, he's British,
awesome.
So who knows?
But his last name was Osbourne. Like
I'm gonna Google it.
Willie Willis. I mean, that's the same kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about. I mean, I knew some about Ozzy, but not a lot. But I didn't know that people said he was deeply religious, and that like who he was in Black Sabbath wasn't necessarily who he was as a person.
Yeah, I just didn't know what the value of that is, because it seems like
his name is not Ozzy.
What was his name? Larry, something fun like that.
John Michael.
John Michael.
Ooh, John Michael Montgomery.
John Michael Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, the Ozzy is probably from Osbourne. Is probably where that came from. So.
It was that or Borney, so they made the right call, I think, with the name.
John Michael Montgomery. Sorry, that's funny.
Yeah. Down to the county auction. I know who John Michael Montgomery is. Come on,
Grundy County Auction.
Yeah, I didn't know where he was. So all right. Well,
I mean, I don't know how to answer your question. Like
fine.
The value of it, I think it's everybody is not really who they are sometimes. Like I think that,
right.
I mean, so I think that's just the nature of it, is that people aren't, yeah, I mean, I think that is like people are just like some of the most like a way to describe this. So like you would say like, I know people that are really wealthy, and so you would have certain ideas about them, but yet at the same time, they're also some of the most generous people that you've ever met.
Yeah.
And then I know some people that you would say are like down to earth, simple people, and are actually like kind of greedy people. And so I think it's just like that interesting thing of human beings of like, we're not always who we say we are. But I think for them, I mean, they say, what value is it? I don't know what value it is, other than I would just say he was an entertainer. Like that was.
I meant as value as far as like a Christian is like, I believe, but I'm not gonna.
Well, isn't that the way for
use my platform?
A lot of people who have just normal jobs. Let's say the manager at Kroger, like
right.
he doesn't go around, or she doesn't go around like a Hulk Hogan and wear his,
She should.
I'm just saying, like,
Kroger.
That's no different than anyone else who has a normal job.
Right.
It's Christianity is a part of who you are and how you should treat others, but not necessarily a platform.
But on the other hand, Kroger manager doesn't have the reach. I mean, you don't have to be Lecrae.
But I would say, like, outside of even his faith, like, I do remember, like, watching that show, the Osbourne show, like, that was on years ago. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember thinking, like, how kind Ozzy Osbourne was. Mm-hmm. And so even though you're not necessarily professing his faith, like, he's living in some ways Christ-like values and being kind to people and generous to people. And then Hulk Hogan on the other side. Why are you making that face?
Are you talking about his reality show?
Yeah.
With his family?
Yeah.
He was drunk half the time.
Yeah, but he did, like, if you watch the show,
I
you
never
would
watched it.
You
I
would see.
love the Osbournes.
Yeah, they were crazy. I'm not justifying anything. Ozzy Osbourne.
And I mean, okay.
Okay,
That's
but
fine.
also, okay, do you want to talk about language? Because
2
we
weeks
could
ago
go
we
back
talked about
into,
that.
like,
Let's not.
in England, those aren't bad words necessarily. the way
here we
think of
go.
them. So,
No.
anyway.
I'm just saying.
Let's
No,
do
I do agree that Ozzy was a family man. He did love his family.
Yeah.
And his kids. Like, you could really tell.
And another difference that he had from Hulk Hogan because
Yeah. So
Yikes.
he did have, I mean, I'm sure he's made mistakes over the years, but I do agree that he did have some sort of like value in how he treated others.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, it seems like people, again, after they passed, it was like, oh, this guy who you would think of as like, that's Mr. All-American, Mr. Great Man.
I can't wait to see all the dirt on Taylor Swift. It's going to be great.
What are we talking about right now?
So the issue with Hulk Hogan was that there was no dirt on him. Everybody knew all the things that had happened and all the things that he'd said and all the. Do you know anything? You seem like you were into.
He joined NWO.
Oh, I know. A lot of people never forgave him for being the third man, attacking poor Macho Man. But
I do know what happened after the reality show and the whole
so he
tape that came out.
So,
too,
the tape, as we'll just call it, the thing that was being recorded was not the worst thing that happened in that tape.
Yikes.
So he, all that went down. And then later recordings of him on that video that he won all the money for was him using language towards various members of our community, words that we are not allowed to say, and things that people say, oh, if you said it out in public, you're being performative. What I heard it best said was like, Kanye West seems to have kind of gone off the deep end, but the things that he says on the microphone, he knows he's on the microphone and he is looking for attention and he's trying to get you riled up and, keep his name out there. But Hogan said it where he assumed no one was listening. So who he was behind closed doors was racist and not the kindest person to be around. So, and when given a chance to apologize, he told everybody, you got to be careful because you're a celebrity. People are watching you all the time. That was his apology. So
yeah,
people were, and then he said some real bad things when his son was, Nick, his issues with the car racing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And the things that he said while he was in prison, their phone calls were recorded, and those got out and just bad news, bad stuff. So anyway, all those things came out, and then Ozzy Osbourne, you're just like, oh, he's just a addled old rocker, but he came out and it turned out everybody loved him. Like, it was just glowing. I didn't hear one person go, good.
I mean, I would have liked to met Ozzy Osbourne. That
Yeah.
would have been fun.
So if you could meet Ozzy Osbourne or Hulk Hogan, which one would y'all want to meet?
I think I mean, childhood me would say Hulk Hogan, but I think Ozzy Osbourne would have an more interesting.
It could be really funny.
Time.
Yeah. It was sad because it seemed like at the funeral, his family was very sad, very broken up. Like, he was a good family man and Hogan was estranged from every one of his family members.
They looked a little rough.
It was
the kids looked fine.
Well, one of them
looked rough.
Well, it's just bad news bears. But anyway, moving on to happier things. That's a rough transition to anything that's on this list. I had it on the thing, but we don't want to talk about the Coldplay concert. No. I mean, it's already come and gone since we've.
I mean, it's already been. Yeah, I mean, they're already doing at other concerts and I mean, it had its moment.
It was a real scene. So sorry that we didn't get to record and bring that up and put Jeremy and Penny on a Photoshop.
Dear goodness.
So all right, well then.
What's amazing about that was how quickly it took off. Not the actual thing, but like the next night, baseball stadiums were doing it already. It was just it just went
You know what really kind of stinks is I can't even listen to Coldplay music without thinking about them. And I'm like, this is dumb.
You hear that little and you're like, I gotta get to
dumb.
Got to get out of here away from my wife. All right, well then, do we want to go into the big thing or do we want to talk about conspiracy theories, because that's what we were going to talk about last time, but it seems like no one dove into them because they didn't get my emails because they went to the junk mail.
I just got it now, so we can talk about them.
Nope.
I think conspiracy theories are better to talk about when you don't know what's coming.
Because
then you get a raw reaction from somebody.
Well, here we go. We'll talk about the one from last time that I brought up, and Jeremy said, "Ooh, that's interesting." Like the whole episode hadn't been fair. So, all right, the Phantom Time conspiracy is what we're talking about. So it is the conspiracy that at some point during the Holy Roman Empire that they added 300 or more years to the calendar because they were the only ones keeping track to make their reign of dominance longer in history.
Were they the only ones keeping track?
Well, I mean, it's a pseudo-historical conspiracy theory. That's why it's a
I mean, nobody really kept track of time for like a long time. Like that's just reality. Like they didn't like, years weren't like that, like something like we think of as being that important.
Well, apparently these people from 614 AD to 911 AD is fake.
What would be the benefit of?
Well, because it makes them another 300 years that they were on top of stuff. So they were like, oh, the Roman Empire has been here for...
Okay. I feel like I had a really good conspiracy theory, and I can't think of it.
Well, what is your favorite conspiracy theory? Either one of you.
I don't know. I had to think. I had one, and now I can't think of what it is.
I have another one that I've picked up. But Jeremy, what do you think? You seem like somebody who would enjoy it.
I mean, I'm not actually a conspiracy theorist. I think I've always been fascinated by the moon landing. I think that JFK is an interesting one. I'm not saying I believe in it. I just think it's interesting all the different theories out there about those two things, are the two of the bigger ones for me. I don't really want to get into 9/11 because that one seems weird.
Well, no, don't look at this list.
Well, no, I was already going to say. John, before you pulled it up, Kennedy was always fascinating to me, and then the moon landing was always interesting to me.
I think the moon landing one is fascinating just because there's so many people who are just so against it. But
and the other one we get into is flat earthers. I think that flat earthers is pretty fascinating.
It's just a dumb one.
But it is a conspiracy theory.
It is.
Yeah.
I think that the JFK one, I don't know the answer to it, but there's for sure something going on because about 5 or 6 years ago, the stuff could be unsealed finally. And they looked at it and said, no, we're sealing this back up because somebody did something that's troubling that wasn't, if it was a full thing that would exonerate the truth of what is being told as the truth, it would have been out because the government always can't wait to just parade that kind of stuff out. But they were like, tuck it away and then hope something comes along with the Coldplay concert and we forget about it. So Penny grinned. She looked at her phone and said, hey.
I remember it now. It's called the Dark Forest Theory.
Oh, well, please tell us.
Well, you need to look it up.
Elves would be in.
It does.
It is the idea that we are not alone in the universe, but we choose not to make contact with other planets.
Oh.
What about Area 51? What if we already know we're not alone?
Can you just stop for a second? Can't answer
Advanced
that right
alien
now.
civilizations might remain silent and hidden to avoid detection and potential annihilation by other civilizations.
Exactly.
And that's the one you like?
Yeah. I like the idea that it kind of makes sense that if there were other intelligent life forms out there and other planets, that we would not know enough about them. So the best thing to do would just be to remain hidden.
But aren't we sending audio files out to space to try to get people?
That's what they're telling us.
Yeah. One of them was Jimi Hendrix.
What if they have already done that and they know that something else is out there? That's why they're not sending or telling us about.
Again, Area 51.
That's made up.
It's not made up. It's a real place.
It is. It's true. It is a place.
And have you seen Independence Day?
I was going to say that. Independence Day.
Welcome to Earth, Penny. Come on. You got to.
Okay.
You got to be.
I think that's actually a really good theory. It's a possibility.
Is it?
You're done down there. Thank you for the drink.
I think Dark Forest would be like a Taylor Swift album. I feel like that would be like something she would like name her.
Speaking of,
I know she came out with a new one today. She announced it on
a new album is out today.
No, she announced it on the podcast, the Kelsey Brothers podcast.
Yeah, it airs tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
The life
7
of
p.m.
Life of a Showgirl.
Life of a Showgirl.
Is it about the girl from Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
Then no.
I immediately thought that too.
Jesse Spano, her caffeine addiction and what it turned into.
She's gonna see, what is that song that she sings on Saved by the Bell?
I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so scared.
Y'all are done. Haters, both of you all.
She was addicted to caffeine pills and off of them within 36 hours. That girl, she had quite a whirlwind.
She could do a duet with Screech because he became Marilyn Manson. But he became...
No, Marilyn Manson was Paul from the Wonder Years.
That's right. Never mind.
She was in a group with Lisa and Kelly, and they danced on trampolines and sang. Do you remember that?
Lisa Turtle.
I do not remember that.
I could sing the song, but I'm not going to because it would embarrass me too much to say it out loud. Okay. All right. Well, you all really went to like deep conspiracy theories. I like the one that now people say, what do you know about Wilt Chamberlain on the court?
He scored 100 points. He scored 100 points in a basketball game.
Yeah. I
didn't even know who that was.
Well, he's a basketball player. Wilt still.
You don't know who Wilt Chamberlain is?
You know what? And this is a fair point. All right. So he was.
Do you know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is? Well,
I know who Kareem Abdul. I don't know who Kareem is.
Kareem. I was like, is his?
He should get his own.
Do you know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
He should get his own Oreo.
Yeah.
Lou Alcindor.
Well, That's not his real name. What is Lou Alcindor? That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's what I'm saying. Lou Alcindor is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
His mama named him Lou. I'm gonna call him Lou. So Wilt Chamberlain, he famously scored 100 points in a basketball game, which is just unheard of in today's day.
Kobe was also 7 feet tall, playing a bunch against 5'9" white guys. So,
boy, here we go.
I'm just saying, if you watch the video of that game, like he's playing against guys that are like 2 feet shorter than him.
Hang on. So here is the point. There is no film of that game. There's no video of that game. It happened a long time ago. This is for Penny, so she can see who this man is that we're talking about.
Still don't know him.
It was before they added the Delphia to Philadelphia. It just was Fila back in the day. Well, so Wilt Chamberlain, there's all these videos of him that have shown up online, all these photos of him with these like luminaries of the 60s and whenever the time that he was big in basketball. But there's not a single there's no video of him in this 100-point game. So people are starting to say that was just a thing that was made up to make him sound better and that they could just write that record down. And that's the kind of conspiracy theory I like. It doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't ruffle feathers, but people are like, well, how dare you say that? And people just get online.
I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, but I've kind of gotten into the whole, like, I don't believe it necessarily, but I could see how people believe it. The whole, like, that the NFL is rigged. Because, like, there's a lot of games like that, like, it's very, it seems like, what is that called? Like, what is going on? So I can see how people believe that. And that could just be by chance, but, like, I do kind of get that.
Well, it turned out, I mean, we laugh about it that, it couldn't be rigged. How could it? But then it turned out that basketball was being rigged for years. And we just kind of, we found out that was true. And then we moved on. Yeah. It didn't bother anybody. And then yet U of L loses their banner from when they were the champions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the NBA, do you know that, Penny? I know you're not big into sports, apparently. You've not heard of Wilt Chamberlain when
I know about the banner, yes.
The basketball referee.
What?
This it was the early 2000s. One of the referees for the NBA turned out he was working with the mob to fix games.
Oh, okay.
And this was like a big story. And he was like, yeah, he's in prison, or he went to prison for years for it. And they were like, he said basically a basketball game is easy to rig because if you add like 3 or 4 fouls to somebody, you can change the flow of the whole game. Or if someone's getting momentum, you just call a travel. He's like, there's a travel every play, or there's a foul every play. And if you
so it's like the NFL, there's a hold every play. Yeah. It's just when they choose to call it.
So he's like, you can watch it and like you could see, look at the point spread and then go, oh, this seems odd that.
I'm going to be real honest. I had no idea the mob still existed. I thought that was like a 1920s kind of thing.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm very serious.
The greatest thing the mob ever did was
serious.
They go into hiding.
Is it really like still a thing?
Yes.
The mob?
Organized crime?
Like the Italian mob? Does that still exist?
Yes.
And why is it called the mob? Does that stand for something?
It's the Mafia.
Oh, okay.
It's a group of people. So anyway, all right. Well, that's. Boy.
Are they? I
don't know.
Well, there's brought down from generation of other mobs.
Did you not see Goodfellas? That's kind of a true
story. There is
story.
the Italian, but there's other variations of like mobsters, and like there's other like countries.
No,
and,
I'm
like,
talking about the original.
You're talking about
like the ones with
like
the Tommy
families,
guns,
like the 5 families.
Tommy guns.
Yeah.
All right. What? All right.
What?
Hang on real quick.
Where?
Hang on real quick.
Where?
Can you describe a Tommy gun for us? Because I want to hear it.
Is it good?
No, not that. Don't do a sound effect. Describe
sorry.
it. If someone was blind and say this person is shooting a gun, here's what it looks like.
Gun with like a round barrel.
Around barrel? All guns have a round barrel.
Shoots really fast.
Jeez.
Like that.
Terry, I hope you're listening and you're ashamed.
I mean, like,
don't pick me in a zombie apocalypse.
Terry, get the Tommy gun.
you would not be helpful in the zombie apocalypse. I can tell you that right now.
You were thinking about the gun from the Home Alone movie.
Yeah, is that not a Tommy gun?
Well, I think that's what.
If there was a zombie apocalypse, you'd be the one who'd be thrown out there so we could all run away.
You should go check the shed. We'd say.
That's not nice.
This. I mean, it's not a terrible. Well, it's it was a terrible description, but we all knew in our head what a Tommy gun looked like. I was just seeing if you could describe it. There's that round barrel. That's distinct round barrel that you talked about.
Y'all are haters.
You can get one for $3,000.
Roaring 20s, Tommy.
Well, yeah, they don't really use that anymore.
That's actually really cool looking.
That's like when you write your name in the side of a wall with when you do a crime.
I would definitely do that.
You should write Penny.
I would. I'd be all in that mafia.
You go. What would your mafia nickname be?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
What would your mafia nickname be, Jeremy? It's gonna be something.
What was the first one you said?
Jerem the Worm.
Hey, it's freaking Jerem the Worm over here. What's wrong with it?
All right, Nickel.
Easy.
I
All
kind of
right.
like that.
Yep. 1 cent. That's what I'd call it.
It's worth 5 of
Well,
you.
I learned
The nickel.
something new today, y'all.
And that's real exciting. Well, hey,
The mafia still exists.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know like the Italian mafia. I want to know like the generational.
It doesn't exist.
Brought down mafia, not like people like let's just make
like
a mob.
there's like podcasts about it. You can like listen all about it.
now,
Well, I'll have to find
now
one.
if you run it, and we don't listen, we have gone through great lengths to not get political on here. But Rudy Giuliani did a lot of it to get rid of it all.
His name kind of sounds like mafia.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing.
Giuliani.
If we only remember
Who are you right now? Dude, I mean, these impersonations that she's
pretty
doing.
good. I thought he was in the
Nothing
room.
beats a Jet2Holiday.
So in reality, before we remember Rudy Giuliani as the guy whose hair was dripping in the sun, his hair dye, and the things that he got away with in Borat 2 that he should be in prison for, he got rid of the mob for the most part because he cleaned up New York and it went from seedy Central, what is it, not Central Park? What's the downtown New York?
Central Park.
Central
Times
Park.
Square.
That would
Times
be
Square.
Manhattan.
He made it into like New York Disneyland and got the mob and all the creeps out. And that was like his big claim to
No,
fame.
he didn't. I was just there.
Well, I'm not talking about Elmo in a ripped up costume charging you $5 for a hug. I'm talking about, you should look at pictures of New York from the 70s and look at it now and go, well,
They're still smoking on every corner.
it's legal there.
I know, it's crazy.
But
You'd be taking your kid to be. My kid was like, "What is that?"
it smells like Dollar General. That's what my kids would say. Why does New York, the whole town smells like it? All right. Anyway, he got rid of the mob for the most part, and they were very excited when he started getting all of his.
I mean, would he run them out with like a broom? Like, how do you get out the mob?
Shoot, get out. Yeah. Get out of here. No, but he cracked down like it was a real thing. Like most people used to be afraid, like, hey, we're not
Did you
gonna-
just ask if he ran them out with a broom?
I mean, like the way that it was said, I thought like
Was this like Tom and Jerry? Like
They were a
that's
bunch of.
that's what I was asking. Don't be
Now, when you ask if the
Don't.
mob is still a thing, are you thinking of like
organized
Italian
crime?
men in
yeah,
suits?
like
or are you thinking of like
the swim with
raccoons
the fishes
with
kind of
Tommy
thing.
guns?
You know, like let's
With what? Sleep
Well,
with the fishes?
do that impersonation.
sleep with the fishes. You know, throw them in the Hudson kind of thing.
Have you seen? Have you seen?
It's like it's
Penny is out of control today.
like-
She's got a sugar buzz going from all this ale.
that straw melon, and she ate 2 cookies.
Did we get one of these that accidentally had the liquor in it instead of the
Yeah, it might have
Celsius? All right. So Penny, real quick, you've seen movies this summer? Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie rewards commercial? Is that what you're thinking of? Where the girl walks in and
Oh, and he's like, I just do movie or yeah. That's what I was thinking.
to me, this is just a totally different topic. That is the most racially insensitive. Like I don't
commercial.
know
Yeah.
the way that we are now, where they've gotten rid of a poo off The Simpsons, and you can't make accents or jokes on TV. But somehow, these 3 guys selling their popcorn, their movie rewards at the AMC.
Yeah.
Hey, get the popcorn and a soda, and they're
Yeah.
just like sleep with the fishes. Oh, and they're like
Yeah.
popping their shirt, and they're
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just it's rough. And I thought, well, I'd be furious if I was Italian,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, well, there you go, Italians. You're welcome. I got your back. So we will move on then.
That was a good topic.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you had a good time with it.
I just,
You learned who Wilt Chamberlain was.
I
If you're
just,
in the Italian mafia, reach out. I'd like to
no.
ask a few questions.
Penny at journeyshepardsville.com. Do not reach out to any of the rest of us. We are all okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It turns out, so my father is adopted. So I don't know these people. They're not bloodline people, but
Is this new news?
no.
Okay.
No, I've always known. He's
Okay.
always known.
New news.
I mean, it's news to the listeners.
Right. Okay. Go on. I'm
There were people in my family and that adopted him that they were like, oh, they were going through photos and like, oh, that guy is the guy that used to run Chicago and things like that. And like he was in like mob books and things like that they would take photos of. And they're like, oh, that's your Uncle Tony. I'm like, oh, that's nice. So like, that's weird that like, it was just a big thing. And I'm like, oh, can I pull any of those strings? Probably not. I really don't know that side of the group very much, but it'd be nice to get the mob on your side every now and then. All right. Well, here. So another person that we've lost in the last month that was big in the 80s and, you know, has kind of lost his way, and we'll see Jeremy's face reaction. We lost Jimmy Swaggart.
Oh, we did. I have some of his books.
I know we had I think that might have been the last day he was alive. Strangely, we had that case of books, and then he was
that
gone.
is weird.
Yeah. They're upstairs. We can
That's
sell 'em.
not
Well, we could do a book club.
Yeah, we do a book club. We'll read all Jimmy Swaggart
for the
stuff.
women's Bible study coming up next month.
Hey, look at that. That's a subtle plug. I like it. don't drink any more of that, please. Just start sipping that water. You need to get that out of your system, whatever's causing you, whatever's going on with
I haven't had anything to eat, so it's just pure sugar. Cookies.
She's had a whole sleeve of Oreos. Don't let her lie to you. But, all right. So Jimmy Swaggart died. And he had his problems, let's say. But he was a little bit of what I was going to talk about earlier with, he was very openly, hey, come to Jesus. But behind the scenes was like, hey, I'm a mess. But he made a lot of money doing what he did. And it seemed to be one of the driving forces of what he did. Almost like a Righteous Gemstones kind of style of, hey, I'm up on TV and why don't you throw some cash my way? And we have a lot of pastors now and people who have planes and various planes and big buildings. And I want to talk about what we are doing we've started to seem to mix Christianity with capitalism. And I don't know if Jeremy has any thoughts on it since it was just in his email junk box, but...
Well, yeah, I don't think we've just started.
Well, no,
I think it's been
but
going on for a long. I mean, you make a lot of money off religion, so I mean, they've been doing it for a good minute.
I mean, Jesus got pretty upset over it.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus and the money changers, and then even before that, we know because in order to make sacrifices in the temple, you had to take an animal, and so they would sell animals at these jacked up prices, so that the people would pay it because they want their sins forgiven. And so, you want this dove, you got to sacrifice. You want this goat, you got to buy it from me, but I'm going to charge you 4 times what it's worth. So that's been going on for a long time. So,
well, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know we've talked about this in the past. That's come up that we all were family bookstore people as kids at all. Getting dragged there.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah, that is part of my belonging. Get a Mountain Dew, go to the family bookstore, get one of those little change purses, the little rubber ones you squeeze and put your Jesus money in. Yeah, those kind of things. But those things were big stores, and they still have big stores. And
they don't, not very many.
Well, yeah, but not, okay, they're not. The
family
bookstores in general there's one. There's one bookstore. So, but there's still plenty of books. If you've been on Amazon, Christian books and things like that. So where are you with someone who... I don't mean the delicate way of answering is people are making money off of faith, but they're not what is that? What are your thoughts on that as opposed to just,
okay. So biblically, we know that priests and, rabbis made a living off of faith. We know that Paul talks about it. I mean, Paul was a tent maker, but he talks about that, that basically you pay the plowman what he's worth. It's okay to give him basically permission. It's okay to make a living off this. But I think it goes back to further, what Jesus said is, there's 2 choices. You can love God or you can love money. I mean, he talks about that. He puts them on opposite sides of the table, and he says you can love God or you can love money. And I think I've always said it like this. I think that there are people that can love God and still do well for themselves. That's possible. So you can love God, be a good person, do well, live, well, and that's okay. But the opposite is if you love money, it's hard to really get God, I think. Does it make sense? If your main goal is just to serve God, or serve money, then it's going to be really hard. And I think a lot of these Jimmy Swaggart, I mean, I could name names of even guys today. I can even name local guys but I don't want to get in trouble. They make it very clear by their lifestyle, by the things they say that they've made a choice at some point. Now, like I said, you can make a lot of money off God. You could also, and it goes back to biblical. I mean, I could pull out verses right now that could justify you know what I'm saying? Giving money and that, but you're taking things way out of context and you're massaging things so that it,
Well,
and I think the biggest thing is accountability. Guys like Jimmy Swaggart and even guys I can name today nationally and locally. No, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm saying this is still a real issue in the church. When it all comes down, it comes down to accountability. Nobody was. I mean, I know guys that do what I do for a living, and here at Journey, I'll just go and say, I have nothing to do with our money at all. I couldn't even tell you what's in our checking account. I never touch money. I never see money. I don't know. I've never once determined what I make. I've never, anything like that. So anyway, all that to say, but there's other guys that without accountability, they're just taking what they want, because there's nobody saying no to them, or if you have people that will say no, then you get rid of those people, and that's also been a part of it too, historically. So, I mean, that's all great points. Actually, I was not thinking. So to me, running a church is one thing.
And I think, what the three of us do, the church has to have people to run it. And that's just, it's just
a business
part of society. Yeah. I mean more along the line. So, like a Christian bookstore, there was so like you go in and there's no short supply of media, whether it's movies, well, not even movies, whether mostly like things like books and like lessons and things where you're like, I have what I consider great information that would help people get closer to Christ. And you can have it for $29.95, but you're not like, this is not like, I consider what we do here, like work, like a job, like you're getting paid for whatever. Right. I'm talking about like media and things like that. It's almost gatekeeping what could be a great point of faith, but I need a little something for the effort.
So here would be my thought. So I think there's two parts, and I could get in trouble for this, so I'll just be careful how I say it.
We'll cut it out. We already lost half an episode.
It's okay. I think it's a good topic. So there are people that are I think of like scholars, some of the scholars that I know that maybe teach at like a university. So they're making decent money, but it's not like crazy money. Mm-hmm. So they write books and they get, you did the work, you wrote the book, you deserve to get paid for writing that material. I think so. It's anything. You could argue that with any trade, food, for example. It's just, we live in a capitalistic society.
Right.
So there's the end thing. On the other side, I see a lot of guys that are writing books that they're not saying anything new, and they're getting a lot of money off those books. And people are going to buy them because their name is attached. So for example, and this is common knowledge, but Mark Driscoll years ago was cranking out books every 6 months.
Well, they're easy.
Turns out
he
he didn't write any of them. Yeah, well. He had ghostwriters. He had staff that were writing his books for him. Mm-hmm. He's making a ton of money off this. I'm sure they're getting a cut of it, but he's getting more and more famous, making more and more money off stuff that he didn't even write, And so I think that there is, again, I can name local guys and national guys that seem to be doing that quite frequently, if we're being honest. But no, I think again, it goes back to whether it's church or you can make a lot of money off Jesus. Mm-hmm. I remember too, of Christian bookstores. I remember this, CDs were $20.
Yeah.
And you go buy the same CD at Best Buy for $9.99 or $11.99. But it would be the Christian bookstore, but they would guilt you into you're supporting the Christian business, and I'm but you're charging twice what I would pay, at Walmart or Target or Best Buy for that same CD. So I don't think there's anything wrong with making a living off of faith. It's the greed behind some of it, and then some of it is just a money grab, and I think that's some of the bigger issues. So,
yeah. Penny, you got any thoughts on any of this?
I agree with Jeremy. I also want to say that we don't necessarily know, let's say that someone made a devotional, type of Bible, and they're, charging a little bit extra for it. We don't know what that company or that organization is doing with their profits. Mm-hmm. They could be giving to other organizations or something to help out other people. I'm just saying there's always another step, hopefully, that the money that they're making is not all going into their pockets.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you two stories that I've been impressed with over the years of guys. The two that come to mind are Rick Warren and Francis Chan. Mm-hmm. Both of them, when they wrote their books, those became literally New York Times bestsellers. I think both of them were at #1 at one point. So The Purpose-Driven Life, and then what was The Crazy Love or whatever Francis Chan wrote, whatever that big book he was. Both of those guys, when they made that much money off the book, they stopped taking salaries from their church. Mm-hmm. In fact, Rick Warren made so much money off Purpose-Driven Life, he started reverse tithing to the church. So basically, he was keeping 10% of what was coming in off his book sales and giving 90% back to his church, and still lives a really nice life. But those are two guys that I think of that. They wrote books, yes, and both those books were really successful books, but they had no idea how much money they were going to make off those. And then I know Francis Chan did the same thing. He stopped taking a salary from his church because he made so much money off the books. He was he was well, I don't need it anymore. So I think there are some good stories of guys doing that, but then there's also the stories of guys that don't seem to be doing that.
Crazy Love. Yeah, that was
Crazy Love. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just, it's hard. And I think then you also have the, you see it on TV. It's Righteous Gemstones is a good example of because some of that stuff, even though that's a fictional show, all of that stuff I guarantee you is happening in churches or happened at churches. Yeah. You had was it Swaggart or was it the other guy that had the theme park they were going to make? Was that? What? There's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole documentary about it that they were doing a holy. The Holy Land down in Orlando.
That's right, yeah.
No, but they've done Christian theme parks and all that stuff. But I think like the guys that sell like the holy oil and the prayer cloths and
it was Jim Baker.
Jim Baker did the theme park, yeah.
Heritage USA.
But like I just think you got to be careful, and I think there's a lot of money to be made out there, and the other thing I would say is I think not all those guys probably started off trying to be swindlers, but then when the money starts coming in and you start getting accustomed to a certain lifestyle, it's hard to back away from that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I really answered the question. I think it's just something that historically it's not new. It's not a new phenomenon. I think it's been going on for a long time. I think anytime you take religion and men and put those things together and there's an opportunity to get power and wealth, like it's probably going to happen at some point.
Yeah, and it does seem, lucky for you, Penny, it was a lot of men, and it seemed like in the 80s it was big. Like the pastors would get big, they'd be on TV, and they were all then getting rich, and then they were all cheating on their wives and crying on TV. Like that was a big Jim Baker.
I mean essentially, and I'm not saying that all CEOs do this, but essentially, like they were CEOs of large corporations. I mean, and so, with that, I remember reading a study recently, and they were talking about like that the profile of a CEO and a narcissistic psychopath, they kind of have like the same traits. It's just that they go in different directions, like with their, but like they're kind of, the personality traits are somewhat the same. It's just one's controlled and one's not. But yeah.
Well, I think I mean, I don't know if I don't want to correct you on the misspeaking. I think it's sociopath is the thing that people are, and it turns out like all these people that are CEOs and that are big time leaders.
What I meant to say, sorry.
It's because
sociopath.
Their trait is that they don't have feelings as far as what society believes in them. Mm-hmm. So like the opposite of me, where, I'll go home and think about this for the next 5 days, everything that was said. But some people just go about their business and you're like, why are these people so awful? And you're like, well, the reason that they got so famous and they got so successful is because they didn't stop and think about every decision. They just moved forward. And when they were criticized, they're like, well, you're stupid. I'm not stupid. And it's sad, I guess, when people put that into their faith too. So, but
I think too, like, I mean, because another the bigger question was about capitalistic. Like, here's the thing: if you're that's the danger of being in a capitalistic society. I look at it and I go, okay, like, yeah, they shouldn't have done it, but like, if someone's willing to pay $6 for testaments and you're going to sell them, like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain point, like, we've allowed this to happen. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if you're gonna like pay $15 for what was the Reese Pieces Jesus shirt or whatever? Like, I felt like there was just always like some type of marketing. Like,
life is short, pray hard. Read the book.
I mean, but if people are going to pay for it, like, I don't know.
Well, I don't
know how you stop it.
Those are like silly things. So I always, and I mean, this is probably just more of a personal thing, but Dave Ramsey, like I've kind of always had like a little bit of issue with that. It's like you have this system and this thing that you could go, you know what? Because he was like, it was big in Christian circles.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
still is. I mean, he's still huge.
So he's like, hey, I can help you out, fellow believers, with this system. And I have all the money in the world already, but I'm going to need a little bit of scratch for that. Like, I feel like, and it's probably why I'm not more successful as a business person, is that I feel like if I could help that many people, it's hard for me to go, I see that you're struggling. If you give me $50, I can fix it.
It's $100.
$100. Well, whatever, throw a little something my way. And it's like, I thought part of the big thing was like helping others out.
I'm not defending what he says. His thing is that he says, what he's learned, if you don't have skin in the game, you won't take the system seriously. That's why he charges.
And I've heard that business
now, but it's also convenient to say that when you're the guy getting the $100 a person. Right. You know what I'm saying? So whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I know that's what he says. So, which I guess kind of does make sense. Like, if you have skin in the game, you might take it more seriously. But
well, there is a thing that like if like people I work with, if you give somebody something, like they'll have like a resource and it's like, this is free. All I need you to do is sign up for my email list or whatever, and people will sign up and they'll download it and they won't look at it. They won't do any of the work. But if it's like $5 or even $10, something like that, that people go, well, I spent a little bit of money on it, so they actually improve just a little bit. But that's more of like just to kind of get you started deal. Like I said, I don't think that the guy who I just said his name, I don't think Dave Ramsey is necessarily a bad person, but I just see that and go, you've got the key to help people, and you're like, well.
I think too. I think part of it was like, so if you've ever drove past his headquarters, going past Nashville, it's in Brentwood. So if you're going to like Destin, Florida, you're going on 65. When you get past the main part of Nashville and you get kind of like the Brentwood area, which is like the next, it's not a real city, but it looks kind of like a city. Look to the left and you'll see his headquarters. And I think there's also this temptation of he's Christian based, but he wants to seem legitimate. So he feels like he has to compete with the other businesses and look like the other businesses and look like the other headquarters and all this stuff. So, and again, I'm not justifying it, saying it's right or wrong. I think there's that temptation of like, okay, I'm a Christian ran business, but I want to look like what, you know what I'm saying? Because I am helping people or whatever. So I don't know if that's like part of, and I'm not justifying him. I'm just saying that might be the temptation of other Christian businesses that are making money, is like, we want to look like it so you will trust us. But I think also Jesus calls us to be different. So I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think, Penny?
Yep.
Yep. So
we're not talking about Wilt Chamberlain or conspiracy theories. So she's like checked out.
What? I'm not checked out.
It's okay. You don't have to be checked out. All right. Well then, hey, I think that was good. I will, we'll go out with one more thing then. What do you think? This is another capitalist thing. What do you think about door-to-door salesmen? Penny.
Go away. They're like, when they come to my door, they have a plan. They were telling me about my neighbors 3 houses down and give their name. And my favorite, okay, here we are again.
So
When I'm at my mom and dad's, because my mom and dad's neighborhood is very diverse. Like there's all kinds of different people and they speak different languages. So when they come to my mom and dad's door and I'm over there and I answer the door and they can say their names properly, I give them I'm like, that's really awesome that like you remembered that.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I don't need anything.
It's a great story.
What do you think?
Whatever. You know what?
Jeremy, do you get door-to-door salesmen in your neighborhood?
No, we have no soliciting in our neighborhood.
That's nice. We
still have people that come to our door.
Listen,
so we have a lot of Karens up front in our neighborhood, which is where they go first. And so like if someone comes door to door, it's on Facebook pretty quick. And so like immediately like people would just like,
you just put Charlie in the front yard and run him out.
Charlie would,
He is. He's kind of mean.
Well, so that's my issue is that, first of all, I'm never going to buy something from you in the age of the internet.
No, I think that's the point. I think a door-to-door salesman at one point had their place because you didn't have access to all this. But now it's like everything you could want is on the internet. So, yeah.
Well, that's I question how it works in a business, how that could possibly be a useful thing. They must be signing somebody up. I don't want to be sexist, but I feel like that was like, oh, the housewife's at home all day, and they're like, guess what I've got for you?
It's mostly lawn care. Well,
we get a lot of bug people that come by.
Yeah.
They come by and they rile up the dogs. I'm like, it is noon.
Well, the guy
who do you think is selling? What are you doing?
The guy that cuts our grass, like he came by the house.
Yeah.
And I was
That's different though. I mean, we're talking like
a vacuum.
Remember Encyclopedia salesman?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
well, those really took a dip.
Oh, my parents bought those.
My parents did too. But we talked about it. The book, the medical book, and then the knife salesman, the
knives.
Ginsu.
Yeah, the knife salesman.
Cut my shoes in half. Yeah.
Knives.
Well, we had a guy.
Knives.
We had a guy come this week, and he was doing the thing that you said. He's like, hey, your neighbor so-and-so. And I'm like, I don't know those people. None of that matters. But I was like, hey, no, thank you. We already have, whatever. And he's like, well, hey, so-and-so. I'm like, oh, no, thank you. And he started just going.
And he keeps going. I know.
And he was talking. I just slowly shut the door in his face. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, sir, but I'm not going to listen to a whole sales pitch because I've already told you 3 times. No, thank you.
I know.
I was kind about it.
Once is enough.
My dogs are going insane. And what are we doing? So.
Speaking of this would be a fun topic. Have you noticed that people that are doing MLMs, they no longer they used to use social media to advertise it, and now it's almost secretive. Like they don't Well,
they had to try something else.
I know people that are selling that Herbalife or whatever.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah. So but that's the thing. They don't talk about it. So they talk about these life changes they're having and post pictures of them they've lost weight and they look better, but they never mention the product because if they did, you'd immediately know this is
scam.
Yeah, a scam. But that's I actually read about that's the new strategy is all these companies they've learned it used to be we're going to flood social media with it, but now it's you don't talk about it at all. So if someone sees your picture and wants to be oh, they're looking good or they look happy or whatever, then it's oh, now they got you because here's the product I've been doing.
I am high on speed. That's why I'm doing great. So. Have y'all ever had those things? Those
speed? No.
Those when I worked at that vitamin store, that
Herbalife or
whatever they used to sell then that had all the ephedra in it. Boy, we were just popping those things.
Mini Thins?
No.
Oh my gosh.
There was
your heart's okay.
Well, no, that was they used to hand those out at the fair. Friends of mine would go to the fair and they would just take 6 of them. And I'm like, that's not good for you.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And that's why they became illegal because people were dying because they were like, oh, this is just vitamins. And then their hearts were stopping.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
But hey, they worked real well. So
for a little bit.
Well, yes, for a little bit. Listen, Hulk Hogan lived to be in the 70s, and Ozzy Osbourne, both of them.
Was going through both their bodies.
Can you even imagine the toxicology report on either of them, how thick their blood was with just nonsense? So
yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully in the next couple weeks we don't lose anybody else. We're going to come back. We're going to the fair.
Yeah, it's going to be next week, so we'll do a report. Next episode will be Kentucky-themed show.
Sponsored by Sorghum.
Sorghum.
Ew.
Sorghum farmers of Kentucky.
The maple syrup for people who don't have taste buds. All right. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time.